wondered what the pros do in their spare time, what they do to switch off, maybe listen to, watch, or who they even follow on social media? Well, now is your chance to find out. It's time for Ask the Pros. Your favourite triathlete, dead or alive?
Dead? What do you mean dead? What triathletes are dead? Who do I pick?
There must be, I don't know, there's probably some.
Obviously, but my favourite triathlete is Michael Buček. He's a retired pro from Slovakia.
I'll say my coach, Julie Dibbins.
Miranda Carfrey.
Natasha Batman. We just met her in Harvey, and I think she's quite an inspirational athlete, so I'll pick her.
Can't really go past Jan Frodeno. He's just, one of the GOATs and, an inspiration how he kind of acts and, holds himself kind of off the course and on the course.
Miranda Carfrey was one of the first professional female triathletes that I had heard of. Actually, we shared a mutual sponsor when I was running, and I just admired her tenacity and grittiness. And then when I was getting into the sport, she was taking on motherhood, and so I've really admired her journey through sport, and she has been generous enough to always take my calls and give me advice when I've needed it in sport and life. So I'm a big fan of Rinny.
Probably Annie Hawk.
Oh God, I'm going to say my coach, Julie Dibbins.
Chrissy's pretty cool. Chrissy Wellington. I spent a bit of time with Heather Jackson. She's pretty fun, and just her energy's really good. Helen Jenkins was probably the first one that I properly remember getting into triathlon. But then I guess general age groupers, they're a ball, and I think all triathletes bring a little something different to the sport and different ends of the spectrum in terms of craziness. So yeah, all triathletes are pretty awesome.
Which end of the spectrum do you sit, Vanilla?
Further, I'm not sure which side's worse, but definitely far on one side, whichever's good or bad that is.
Do you think triathlon should follow the World Athletics rules on shoes or have its own rules?
I think it should be consistent across if the runners are banning certain shoes, then I think we should follow suit.
I think we should have our own rules. It should be the Wild West, and that's how you get innovation, isn't it?
Absolutely follow the rules. Yeah, I think we need to have some regulations in place.
Then it should maybe also follow UCI for bike rules. I think it's good to have rules and also to follow the shoe rules, but I think triathlon overall has some work to do on that.
No, I actually like the idea of going with the athletics rules.
Let's just keep it simple. Let's follow World Athletics for shoes. Let's partner with swimming. Cycling's different UCI. Let's not get into that. Let's go back to the shoes. Yes, World Athletics, yeah.
I am just so fortunate to work with On. They're incredibly innovative, and they always come up with the fastest, most beautiful shoes within whatever rules they need to adhere to.
It's just so media trained. This is hard work here for me. Okay.
I suppose because it's not our distance isn't Olympic sport, so maybe the longer distance could follow a different set of rules. But I guess for Olympic distance triathlon, it would be better that they followed their governing body rules. There's so many different. It's nice that triathlon is so forward thinking and has such initiative that they think outside the box, and it's a shame to put a dampener on that with rules and regulations when there's so much room for growth. And so I don't know, probably a bit on the fence, but it would maybe we need a special category or something like that.
Well, I think being consistent is good. The thing about triathlon that was always fun, I don't know if anyone's watched the America's Cup, but Australia had the winged keel. It was a big deal that it was a secret new thing. And I think in triathlon, it's really fun to see on race day, people come out with the new winged keel. So for example, last year we'd have the head deep dish wheel, or new shoes. You get the carbon shoes from Hoka and Nike and everything else. So I think, it pushes the boundaries of product development. And so it's kind of cool to see that every year. And I think this is a great space for it. But then I guess, if everyone's trying to race for a consistent level of opportunity to race fast, then it's kind of a little bit, can be a little bit controversial. But for me, I actually like the idea of just giving it a crack on some new thing and, seeing, I mean, within reason, we're not like going to talk about having like space bikes or something, but, I think it's been exciting to see every year. I mean, we had like different geometry bikes with P5X, Ventum, whatever else. So, yeah, I think the new release of something that always seems to come out around Kona is pretty exciting.
So do you reckon like 100mm shoes we could see?
Well, like, we don't want things to be dangerous. I mean, but like, that's not going to suit every athlete and not every course as well. You got chicanes and running loops around. I don't think 100mm shoes are going to be the fastest shoe option. So, I think it's everything for its day, and different shoe companies have the opportunity then to push their development on finding something that's just as fast, if not faster. And if we don't do it in a competitive environment, then when will we ever see this great innovation? And I think that's been the cool thing about triathlon, that's allowed that to happen.
What song do you use to get you pumped if you've got a tough training session or a race morning, or is there a song you have?
Just something like upbeat. I've forgotten the name of that. Yeah, artist is one that's like that I'm feeling good song.
Right now, my go-to song is Taylor Swift's The Man. It's giving me lots of like boss girl energy.
I'm good. Like, I'm good. This one. And the only one, like, yeah. Or Wonderwall from Oasis is another one.
I like these. These are nice original ones. Nice one.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Eminem, Lose Yourself.
I get mocked for my music taste because when I say I'm listening to a pump-up song, it's usually some like super chilled out like folky thing that nobody else would listen to. However, a little bit of Macklemore's good for me. That's the most like high energy that I get. So yeah,
It's very old school, and it's one I heard the other day, and then I've been obsessed by it. Is Children by Robert Miles.
Yeah, I have a go-to song, but I don't think anyone knows it. It's called Release Me. Yeah.
Britney, S Club 7, or something that you can sing along to. So
cool. We see you on your Instagram singing along and dancing along to all sorts.
Actually quite like the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. It's like really happy, and Mr. Blue Sky is a personal favourite. So I think, I'm a mixed bag when it comes to music. I'm pretty open to all different things, even country, rock, anything actually. But usually if it's happy, I'm in.
Everyone's Taylor Swifting at the moment, so I keep on, I know, Watermelon Sugar. There you go.
The best triathlete on social media. Who's like your favourite person to follow, look at pictures, YouTube, whatever it is, or Insta?
Oh, heck. I can tell you who I don't like.
I quite like, I'm good friends with Fenella Langridge, but I always love her dancing videos and the energy she brings.
I really like Daniel Bakkegaard. I think his energy's good, and the YouTubes are well put together and fun.
Eric and Paula. Their YouTube is just another level, isn't it? They're my faves.
I love watching all the videos in the road to Kona. So like Laura Phillip, Ruth Astle, quite a few ladies had kind of their road to Kona, and I enjoyed following along.
I'm going to say Lauren Brandon, just because, again, biased because she's a training partner, but she's always incredibly positive, but down to earth, and always has good pictures and stuff.
What podcast are you listening to at the moment, or have you got on your playlist to listen to next?
I have been listening to a bit of the Triathlon Hour. I think Jack's doing a great job there, and so I've been I know there's a few coming out this week, so I'll probably listen to them. And I know some people avoid listening to too much of triathlon stuff, but I think that's just helps me get more buzz for the race.
Oh my gosh. I love Ritual. Yeah, I like Ritual.
Again, I love triathlon. I'm such a geek about it. So I listen to so many different podcasts. And I know this is not a podcast, but I've obviously been watching all the Breakfast with Bobs on YouTube and trying to watch everyone's just to kind of check in and see what everyone has to say. So yeah, a lot of triathlon podcasts. Yeah.
Oh, well, so I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, and I would say the High Performance podcast is one of my favorites.
My favorite podcast right now is called Ologies, and it's different. So you have a biologist or somebody who focuses on squids or or squid is, I guess, both plural and singular. People who do these different scientific specialties, and you do a deep dive into their field of study.
So I listen to a ton of podcasts. Usually I do the majority of my training on my own, so I listen to podcasts all the time. But out here I've been training with Reece, so we just chat, otherwise it's a bit antisocial. But I don't traditionally listen to triathlon podcasts. I listen to other stuff where I can learn stuff. My favourite being a podcast called 99% Invisible, just about stuff in the world.
Actually, I've been listening to quite a bit of podcasts on, this is a little bit nerdy, but it shows my nerdy side, is like on like artificial intelligence in its impact on the accounting industry and like my former job. So I like to try and stay up to date with
What are you watching at the moment? It's race week. You must be watching something like a box set or anything, like on Netflix or Amazon.
Actually, I'm not. I'm watching the sunsets. Yeah.
Do you read?
I read. Yeah, I do.
I know that the Great British Bake Off is, there's a new season coming up, so I'm really excited about that. That is one of the things I love is cooking and baking, so yeah, that's my jam.
Well, not Netflix. I'm on my 5th time, I think, maybe 5th, of Ted Lasso, which I know isn't Netflix, it's on Apple. I'm about to start watching the Beckham series on Netflix. I've heard that's good.
It's like a race week. I just want something like easy to watch, and so I just started watching like the David Beckham and Victoria Beckham one.
Do you know what? You're the second person. Well, it was Laura who was like, I'm going to start watching that, and I think I am too. So we're all just like, look on Netflix, see what's most popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just finished Sex Education on Netflix. Very funny.
Killing Eve.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a cool one. It's like pretty crazy, huh?
I just started watching it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a good binge on Netflix, and recently I started the Mindy Project. I've never watched the seasons before. I think it's been over for quite a long time, but I just started, and yeah, makes me chuckle.
Netflix, are you watching a box set at the moment? What are you on?
I'm watching The Morning Show.
Oh, I've just been watching a lot of YouTube at the moment. Yeah, just, again, random people on YouTube, not triathletes, just random stuff. I'm really into watching people renovate old Defenders because that's the dream.
Yeah, I'm actually really heavily I'm very content rich when it comes to Netflix and everything else. I've really enjoyed now that Star Wars and things are all on Disney and the new releases of the different Star Wars series with Mandalorian and Andor and, Ahsoka and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, you're probably watching, in fact, this year, I think, maybe within the last 12 months, I may have watched all of the Star Wars movies as well. So I'm kind of into that.
Some random answers and some brilliant ones, and there's certainly some recommendations that I'm going to be adding to my watch and listen list. Let us know what your favourite is in the comments section below. And to thank the pros, why not give us a like?